howdy, hey there folks, hope you're doing well today, hope you're doing amazing today. We're going to be getting into it, and we're going to be hopefully getting this no-hit today. Did a little bit of testing, a little bit of planning. In theory, that's pretty much how it goes right now. I think we have an overall better chance of it, frankly, but we're just going to have to kind of see what we end up with. Have counters to a couple of the more difficult sections, have a general idea of what we're going to be doing at certain points or another here. I do think at some point in this run we're going to end up seeing me pivot from using the standard balls over to actually using the star fists for a handful of bosses. It took a little bit of convincing, but I think in this case just doing star fists just covers so much ground that overall it's more worth it to have that advantage than it is for me to completely disregard it. So in this case, probably gonna end up doing that, but either way, I kind of wanted to dedicate today's character to somebody who's honestly just been really awesome, and that would be Sunyan. Sunyan, I don't know if you're going to be watching this at some point or another, bud, but in all seriousness, thank you very much for, well, I mean, frankly, the support you give. I do appreciate it a lot and a half. I think that's roughly about it. Let's go ahead and get ourselves loaded up. Let's go ahead and get our character rolling here. Run starts the same way that it always does, off rip, which is to say that we essentially start the run off, get right on into it. Hopefully don't get our shit absolutely fucking kicked sideways by whatever. That's really kind of the through line every single time. Literally just hopefully do not get shit kicked. I think I have a general set of ideas though that otherwise will be good for the run and will otherwise be beneficial to us. Leave those arrows on. I don't really need the fire arrows. I'm also going to probably be a little less apprehensive to using arrows when I get the chance to, so there's probably going to be times where we end up using arrows. Not 1,000. Not going to be using it like a shit ton of... Okay, nice. Not going to be using it like a ton and a half, but certainly going to be using it, to say the least. Like, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, and I gotta probably take a little bit more time to say, you know what, I want to use arrows to make certain portions of this run just that little bit easier. Like in this case for Fort Height. Fort Height would probably be one of those cases. I know last time I figured out that I don't really need the bleed grease, or the craftable bleed grease, but I would like to have it either way, I think. Because personally speaking, I don't know, I get some comfort out of it. It's nice to have. So either way, the run starts off the same way that it always does, which is us popping some runes, heading on over towards the flail, getting the stats for the flail, and then essentially getting everything that we need to get a weapon up to plus 12. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the initial game plan, as it always ends up being, more or less. I'm sure there's probably a couple things here and there that I could do otherwise to help with cash flow, because cash flow on a run like this can always be a little difficult because you don't really want too many encounters. Okay, nice. I didn't really need that row of fruit, but I got kind of pissed that it just didn't click for some reason. So, but yeah, cash flow is always kind of an issue, more or less. We'll end up collecting what we can, where we can. It would be nice if we ended up getting like a handful of drops, more or less, from the handful of soldiers that we run across over here. Another thing that we'll probably end up doing on this run that I haven't done before, maybe, potentially, is end up buying a handful of throwing daggers. purely because throwing daggers are a good way of keeping poise up without having to keep poise up yourself. Just because essentially when you're using a throwing dagger, it keeps that trigger for poise going, but you don't have to attack the enemy directly. You just have to land the shot, which is easy enough with a throwing dagger. So. Go, beautiful. As it stands right now, pretty much in this case, we literally just do what we're going to do here and keep moving along and hopefully get away with it, and yeah. I don't really need to loot this plant, but I will loot it anyways, because I do like the idea of having a stockpile of Roa fruit. I know we had a lot of it last time, and it did actually pay off into something, so.
Then it summoned me. I bequeath.
We're gonna get our horse. And we did end up running through the gates last time, and it was relatively successful, so I think we're just gonna go ahead and do that again, in all seriousness. I took the fucking bait. I took the bait of one singular item being on the road. And, like, it's entirely my, fucking ADHD kicking in there, roughly. But, like, it's always funny when it does kick in like that. Golden seed. Right over here is a 3-stack of smithy ones. Already up to 4. Good. The learning curve, I think, has been different enough each and every time that I've done this, more or less. Or, like, I can't say I've learned a ton and a half every single time, just that I feel like I am growing, at least to some extent, or to some capacity, each time I have to do this. Because, like, I am trying to take in learning lessons about... Okay, that was a boar. Jesus Christ, I am so lucky he didn't aggro harder. Alright, get the grace outside of Bernal. Beautiful. I think we're fine to use base katana against the soldier that's over this way. I'm not really that intimidated by the Golden Vow soldier that gives us it. They're not really a problem. Granted, admittedly, I think if they ended up getting a hit on me right now, at least this early, I would probably at that point just say, okay, well, fuck, I guess I'm resetting. He did get the buff off, but he still doesn't live. Gorgeous. Okay, cool. And it's not necessarily that it's safer coming from this way towards Caelid, but I do kind of feel safer because I've done this route so many times that just in general it feels safer because of that fact. So, you need the mushroom. That has to happen. I think this is a... Yes, it is. Exalted Flesh. I haven't tried bothering to get the Exalted Flesh pickups, but, I mean, I guess we do get the one off of Alexander, but I don't know. Well, no, actually, because, like, we only get that if we free him right here, so...
Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck.
Alright, go ahead and get this grace, because I probably will end up trying to get Alexander sooner than later. It's kind of dependent on the situation, I guess, but I don't know. I feel, in theory, like it's possible to get him sooner than later. So, we'll have to kind of see that one out. Alright, going by the 3-stack right here. Don't really need the crafting pot, and I am considering getting this. It's light-ish. Nah, it's just not worth it. It's not worth the pickup. So I'm not gonna fucking bother. Go and get the grace that's on down here. That way we can come back for the turtle talisman. So turtle talisman, I think right now is like a nice filler, but I don't know if it's necessarily one that we're gonna rely on heavily going forward, because it's not really doing a lot. It just kind of, I don't know, like it just kind of feels like it just fills a slot for us. And while that's not horrible, it's not really cooking. The stamina gain off of that small talisman is not really a lot. This graveyard's not really worth much, but it's free money, and in all circumstances, free money is something you should never gawk at. I mean, obviously, when it's legitimate free money. Okay. Alright, Kenneth. Let's, I think Kenneth is... Is Kenneth gonna die? I guess we could just murder Kenneth outright. Kenneth might end up just dying outright, admittedly. I don't know if I really see a reason to keeping him around. Because if we do Fort Height the way that I kind of intend to, there's not really a good enough reason to keep him alive. So...
Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height. Goodness gracious. Calm yourself,
that may not... Okay, shit. Alright, time to run. I fucked up. Alright, never mind, we don't get the Kenneth Height seed. That's alright, that's okay. I was kind of on the fence on whether or not I even needed him in the first place, and, well... I mean, I'm a little sad that I fucked up such a basic thing, admittedly, because, like, that's an easy one. I didn't even realize he starts wandering back like that, but, well... I guess he'd be doing that sometimes. Alright, deck's up by 3. And at this point, it's pretty much just faith. The only other thing that we... Well, faith. Strength. Pretty much just strength is what we're going to be worrying about past this point, but... I mean, we do probably want to get the bare minimum requirement for Flame Grant Me. Because, like, it doesn't suck to have. That bear is awfully close to me, and I don't like that personally. This was a different overall choice in routing that I probably should have done this a little smarter. I mean, I'm here now in this case, so it's kind of a little too late to change that, but... I do want these tarnished gold flowers, because I am probably going to end up going after, Oh, alright, cool. Get all of those. Probably going to end up routing back around anyways, because of how the route is going right now. There we go. Yeah, I mean, we're probably going to end up back over there anyways at some point.
Well, you please. I'm angry.
This guy sells a couple things that I actually want. This is the first thing that I want. That's our +3. And I don't really need the lilies off this guy, so I think I'll just buy 1 lily. But otherwise, that should, in theory, be fine. we're going to get plenty of lilies on our route anyways. So we're probably going to end this route over by Third Church America and then finish around the other way. Oh, right, I have to fucking... Damn, I did this kind of wrong. Kind of wrong, kind of weird. Oh well, we're here now. A little bit of money. Admittedly, now that I'm thinking about it, this was also done kind of wrong, because normally we use the Fort Height race to get back. Huh. Yeah, this was a little bit of a wacky doober, I'm not gonna lie. This was done all kinds of wrong, admittedly, for the most part. Alright, run on down. Unfortunately, now with the bear awake at the very top of the stairs, we can't really do shit about that, so we just kind of have to leave it as is. Yeah. Not my best planning in the world, admittedly. It was, in fact, actually very fucking piss poor. Why is it still nighttime? Can it stop being nighttime already? Alright, there we go. Force the daytime. Do need to go ahead and equip the kukri. There we go. There we go. Okay, cool. When you get older, you're hoping your body hair looks like that. Are you sure about that? I mean, if that's the case, Randall. Also, hey, Randall. If that's the case, then fair enough. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you though, dude. The current character model we have right now kind of looks like a silverback gorilla. I'm not personally one for a shit ton of body hair like that, but like, yeah. Okay, I think in this case, we'll route around here. I don't really like getting those items right there. Santa X Gorilla build. Yeah, that's kind of what it's feeling like, and that definitely is the build we're rocking right now. That dog was a little too close. Grab the money. There we go. Jesus. That was way scarier than it should have been. I'm gonna end up missing something really fucking stupid, and I'm gonna be annoyed as piss when I completely miss it, because it's just gonna fall into that strange little category of how did I miss that? How did I forget to get that? So I do that, then we can start heading on over towards Fort Height, Third Church, and then once we're done at Third Church, we can start heading into Weeping. Okay. Oh. Alright, there's that extra lily I was kind of looking for anyways. I mean, there's going to be plenty of extra lilies I'm going to be collecting here for sure, but any and every lily I can get is pretty much one more that I don't have to think about later, and that's a little too important. Might trigger the wolves to go that way. Oh, okay. Fucking tried to bait my ass. This is frankly way riskier than it really, like, anything I should be. Oh, Jesus. Okay, you know what? Never mind. We don't need that rune. I want the money, but, like, it ain't worth it, Chief. Okay, there we go. Alright, now we just have Fort Height to knock out, which, in theory, should be hopefully fine. I've never seen these guys once actually shoot at anything other than their main objectives there, which are the Beastmen, but I would prefer not to test the theory on whether or not they'll change their minds today. I heard the battle music, but apparently no battle was actually taking place. So, good. But that one can't see me just yet. There's one rat right here. Didn't trigger anybody inside the building. Good stuff. I didn't mean to trigger this guy so early, but I guess here we are. Awesome. Very cool. You know, maybe I should have waited to actually finish the encounter first. Maybe I should have waited to finish the encounter first. You know, good start today, honestly. Like, I'm really glad. That was definitely the one for me to lose it on. Is that reset worthy? I want to say that's reset worthy. That's stupid as fuck that I would fucking do that in that way, but, like, at the same time, the fuck was I doing is kind of what I'm thinking right now. Like, the fuck was I doing, actually? Because, like, I know better. I do. That was dumb as shit. That was entirely dumb as shit. There were so many ways for me to approach that, and yet I took literally the wrong answer. And that is unfortunate as hell. And now here we are because of it. Alright. You know what? I don't really have one for it today, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do myself. Fuck it. How'd the pants stay on? I didn't keep the pants on. What the fuck? That's annoying. That's really, really annoying. Like, I knew how to do that right, and I didn't do it right at all. Oh well, I guess, is kind of what I have to take it at, because, yeah. 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 Oh well. Thing is like, I still kind of expect to take, like, potential hits on this run and everything right now. Just because I don't quite think I'm at the point of 100, like, getting right through the game with no hits at all. But at the same time, maybe there's certain things I need to start working on narrowing down just that little bit further to further prevent taking hits, or just to speed up the experience in general. Because, like, certain graveyards there, I can't even make an argument for why I looted them, only that I chose to do that, and maybe I didn't fucking have to. You know, I'm going to try something slightly different this time, and instead of wasting so much time running around Limgrave so early, I will go and book it towards Liurnia a lot sooner, and maybe see about taking on the Crystallion that gives the bell bearing a lot sooner too. We won't really have money like that just yet, so it's kind of an expensive endeavor I'm looking at doing. But at the same time, if I end up going there, getting my weapon and everything set up, and it goes well, that's not entirely a bad time. So, maybe, possibly, that would be smart. Like, we definitely have enough fucking distance to cover in the grand scheme of things anyways. So, you know what, maybe instead of doing this new fancy little route that I do to Stormhill Shack, maybe I'll keep it the original way that I have, and just go to Liurnia right after that. Because likewise, when I'm looking at Unsheath, and I'm looking at this katana, it is not a bad weapon to storm an area with, by any means. So, there we go. I don't know. We'll have to see. Like that. Sitting down.
Have they, sir? But you, I can play turning to aid you. You need to the foot. Then it summoned me. Ah, I bequeath. It will summon torrent. Has treat him with.
Right, leave it at nighttime for just this minute while I'm doing this. There we go. Good. Awesome. Right. I probably don't even need this grace in the grand scheme of things, but I'm only using it because it solves like a handful of issues for me. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, there we go. Make it daytime. This will probably also be my way of trying to fast track Fort Height this time. I'll probably end up fast tracking Fort Height. Why am I choosing to run right through this area? That was really stupid. Those common riders can very often completely claim your ankles out of nowhere. And I went and risked it for the biscuit for no really good enough reason. I think that was a +3. Perfect. Okay. Go ahead, head this way, go get that grace real quickly, and then we'll start booking our way on down towards Fort Height. I wasn't sure if I'd take enough fall damage on that one to kill me, but I figured why would I test the odds of that when I could just, you know, not? Okay, run over this way. Set up a kukri throw, probably for that wall right over there. The wolves are taking notice. Funny enough, unfortunately, because of how the aggro worked on that one, they didn't really aggro in a way that was fruitful for me. But, well, we're here now, and I'm just going to collect what I can and leave. Might as well. I can't say, though, that was a bad pull overall. I mean, we still got okay money out of it, so it in theory works out, right? All right, let's go ahead and do a quick run through Fort Height. Do this better this time. Run down and around. Nice. Love the miss jumps. Okay, there we go. One rat dead. Gotta say, I love the... You know what's funny about that? I can't really even tell you where the hit came from there. I can't even really tell you where that hit came from. Damn, 10 minutes in. Nah. God, fucking... Nah, fuck it. I'd rather reset. That's annoying. That one in particular just kind of pissed me off. Maybe I should just ignore that rat, because, like, I did it in the past, it worked out just fine, frankly, ignoring it. So maybe I just ignore the rat, frankly. I don't have a lot of pretty characters now I'm thinking about it. I don't really have any. Alright. I wonder if it's just, you know, actually, maybe I could do that. That wouldn't be the dumbest idea in the world. Maybe I should make a save state character that just literally starts from the very beginning of the game. That way I don't have to always do this little reset here. I could just kind of reset whenever. Maybe that's not a terrible idea. Alright, great. Well, let's fucking do the same routine again. Back to Fort Height. I do personally think getting Fort Height knocked out of the way sooner than later is probably a good idea. I don't know, maybe I'm gonna do slightly unorthodox here, and I will choose to go right towards Fort Height, I think. Or not Fort Height, sorry, Liurnia. Go towards Liurnia way sooner than I really need to. Just purely to do that. Because Liurnia might end up actually paying off more in dividends anyways. Just due to general value of things there. And it's a higher level area, so money should technically be better too. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't actually remember getting the grace for Kale last time anyways, so... And not that it really would have mattered too much, but yeah, it kind of means something. Every single time I kill one of these dudes, it does give me a small chance for a smithy stone. And if I end up getting a smithy stone out of the experience, then, I mean, yeah, that's kind of worth something. I'm gonna try something a little different too here for the flail. I'm gonna just try sniping the guy that's guarding the flail truck and see if sniping him kills him outright.
Then it summoned me. I bequeath. It will summon torrent. Treat him with. Shall let my share them with me. Your
Okay, so yes. Yes, it does kill him outright. Not entirely worth it by, like, a lot, but it's like a small pile more of money, and fuck it, for that reason we will take it. Alright. Go and set it to daytime. For Kukri. Didn't actually have to waste a Kukri there, which is kind of nice.
Could you help us out, Cully?
Not that it matters like a ton and a half, but I mean, it's a little bit of extra resource in case for some reason I were to need that more here than later, I guess. Because later we're going to have all the access to Kukri, but right now at least, we're kind of tight on our resources, so we need to make things work a lot smoother than usual. Alright, ignoring that secondary path right there for right now, because, I mean, it's just dangerous in general. So, we're just going to go and beeline it for our site of grace. Book it down to Fort Height. Cool, there we go. This. Did not mean to shoot an arrow. Hopefully I didn't accidentally aggro those wolves up there. What if I, like, aim for a rock, like, right there? How that would do. Alright, that trigger... That did not trigger the dire wolf. Which is a little concerning. But it's probably okay in theory. I mean, it worked out, so we'll take it for what it is. Yeah, you know, yeah, we'll take that. Alright, go get this grace. Take Fort Height. I have a generally okay idea for the most part on Fort Height. I just need to kind of make a hybrid of what I did initially at Fort Height and play that instead of playing as stupid as I have. Okay, there's 1 and 2. There's a rat. There's that. Gorgeous. I'm up to about right here, I believe. Maybe slightly lower. Oh, okay. Well, that's annoying. This piss. Oh, come the fuck! That one... God damn it. Like, that's annoying. I'm gonna play it out for right now, I think. Because I don't want tonight to literally just be a shit ton of resets, but this is... If anything, more than anything, this is just telling me that fort height needs to be worked on. The fort height definitely needs to be worked on, because that's a little rough and a little annoying as piss. I don't know if that'll work, but we'll find out. That's a shame. Yeah, it really does feel like a shame, for sure. Okay, that was really cool. There we go. I know for a fact I think there's one more dude or two more dudes in there. It is a damn shame that I lost something like that, because admittedly that was such a stupid reason to get hit. That was such a stupid reason to get hit. They do be walking just fast enough to dodge, huh? Yeah, it would seem so. Turns out that strategy from the Family Guy ripoff of Star Wars, veering slightly to the left or slightly to the right, turns out that was actually just enough. Weird. Weird. Right. What's funny, too, about all of this is that I did all of that for the, I was worried that was going to kill me. I did all of that just so I could get the bleed grease. Or the bleed grease recipe, at least. And, like, I'm not even sure entirely if the bleed grease is going to be worth the effort of it. So, like, there's a really strong chance that we may not end up doing it. Well, it's a Star Wars reference you don't get, but it's funny. I get the idea of it. I think it's kind of that joke of, it feels like something that's so highly complex and so highly, like, technological can be beaten by something that's so utterly simplistic and stupid.
Welcome, dear customer. Well, I'll you these. I'm hung.
I'm hung. Yo, my man is hung? Good for him. Right, buy those. And you know what? I'm gonna not buy his lilies, but I will buy the 5 sleeping arrows as backup. You've never seen Family Guy or Simpsons? Oh, really? Is that so, Sunyan? I can't really say I'd recommend them to you, Because, like, in all seriousness, I don't really think you're missing out on a lot and a half. There's some okay, funny moments here and there, for sure. But for the most part, you're really not missing out on much, if anything. I don't really think you're missing out on a lot. Man, I love it when Torrent decides to fuck around. It's so cool. I love Torrent so much. Like, to be fair, I knew I shouldn't have, like, trotted hard on Torrent there, because that always usually fucking deletes the horse's ability to do anything other than suck. But, well, I was trying. Yeah, I wouldn't say you're missing out on enough to really be concerned about it. There's some funny enough stuff in it, but like with how frequently comedy is usually injected into most things. Now, one I think you could probably get some worth out of without having to waste too much time on, from Seth MacFarlane, is a million ways to die in the Old West. It was a live-action movie that, well, I say live-action. It was a real... Yeah, you know what, fuck it, live-action. It was a live-action movie that pretty much took Seth MacFarlane and a couple of his friends, more or less, and they live out in the Old West of, like, the... Oh, you've seen that? Okay, cool. Then in that case, I think it's a really good time. I think that's a lot of fun to watch. In fact, I think I watched it not too long ago anyways, just cause it's just entertaining. It really is. I wouldn't say it's like turn your brain off levels of entertainment, but like it's close to that in just a general sense. So. Alright, surely I don't fuck up murdering Kenneth Haight twice in a row today, right?
Interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Haight, servant to the truth. Goodness gracious! Last, much ton.
I am allowed to save quit for this one because we're out of combat. We don't even probably need his seed in all seriousness, because like other than flask refills, that's really the only reason we care about this. So I'm gonna be really, I wouldn't say annoyed, but I'm gonna be like at least mildly annoyed if we make it all the way to the end of this run and we only have the one hit. Like, on one hand, awesome that we did well enough to do that. On the other hand, what the fucking hell? Sufficiently perturbed? Exactly. I'm going to be sufficiently perturbed. The perturberance will be sufficient. I guarantee you. How you doing, Sunyan? How you been taking care of yourself, man? Oh good, a single dragonfly noticed me. That's not gonna end poorly for me. I'm sure of it. Hours are long, work is okay though. That's not too bad then, I guess, grand scheme of things, right? I feel you on that. I feel I think I'm mostly fine. I'm mostly fine, admittedly. I'm tired more than I think I wanna be, but like to a certain extent it's kinda hard to prevent that fully outright, right? So, as far as things stand, I think I'm good. It's just kind of one of those things. I'm hoping that I find genuine time to like take off and not do a ton and a half at some point near. I think I need to. I don't think I work myself like horribly hard or to the bone, but like it's been long enough that I've since I've taken like a genuine true break that I think in this case, like, regardless of my workload being what it is right now, it still kind of just feels like I am doing... I think in this case, it's kind of one of those things of, like, I just have it in my bones that I have been working too long and too hard, that I probably need to go do something different for a bit, so... What was it? I think there's a free pack of lilies over here. You know what? I don't really think we need them. I guess, to be fair, I'm already running right towards them, so this time I'm going to pick them up. But, like, every time we've played this so far, we haven't really needed this pile of lilies. It's not really necessary.
Are you here as a...
I buy those out. Beautiful.
Oh, I'm afraid of...
Yeah, man, I feel you on that. I think you have exactly the right idea about it. I think in this case it's been good for me to, it's funny enough, of all the things that's helped me kind of chill out a little bit more here recently, is I've been spending some time playing a couple different new games that haven't exactly been streamed. And I've also been working on 100%ing some of my old, like, classic childhood games and whatnot, which has been fun. I can't complain about it. So, I really can't complain about that, actually. It's been fun. It's been a good amount of fun getting back into my classic childhood games. I'm still, hopefully, I'm looking forward to, I guess in this case, if Ratchet and Clank ends up on the console classics, but it just kind of hasn't yet, other than, what is it called? Size Matters. Size Matters is, it's kind of a mediocre game, I'm not gonna lie. It could be so much better than it actually is, and unfortunately it's just not that good. It's not a horrible Ratchet and Clank, like... Oh, okay. He survived the stagger. Probably because of Golden Vow, I think. Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, that is usually how I feel about a lot of it. I'm still... Admittedly, I think one of the things I probably need the most right now is a editor. Or somebody I can, you know, give my videos over to, or my streams over to actually, like, do some clip work. Or not clip work, really. Just video work, in all seriousness. Clipping is easy. Clipping really is very, very easy for me, and I do get enjoyment out of doing it. But when it comes down to it, I think the one thing I wish I had, that I struggle with, is the ability to make more videos. And that's going to be a problem that I have to probably address at some point or another, but, well, at some point or another it'll be addressed. piles of money here really aren't too bad to get. Yeah, you know what, honestly, this was kind of worth it. This was kind of worth it. It's definitely not a lot of money, but it's, like, small piles of money for relative freeness. So, yeah. Trimming and pruning on a larger scale. Pretty much, yeah. That's pretty much more or less what I'm hoping for at some point or another. As it would be pretty massive. It would definitely be pretty significant. Because there's like a couple things that I wanted to make into videos here at some point or another. And like, I'm not even talking like from a perspective of like, oh, I want it to have like to the nines level editing, and I want it to have like super close-ups on really funny bits or shit like that. No, not even that. I just literally somebody to trim the fat, more or less, to put it out as a video. That's more or less kind of where I am on that right now mentally. We're doing okay on money. We have a decent pile of money. I mean, I'm not surprised necessarily. It's the same route I've done pretty much every time. I didn't mean to use War Master Shack, but it was a little bit closer, and I don't want to accidentally trigger the giant. So, it was a little bit safer to go there first. Right, Flail can be equipped. Gorgeous. We don't really have a talisman for that slot just yet, but we will, in theory. I need the crafting pouch still. So we need to go back over to Kale. It's all good, man. It's alright.
May I have a word? I am the word. I'd heard tant upon the talk thou art but to call forth. I was in stride torrents. Forgive mine intrusion.
I will not forgive her intrusion.
But I can also that you're not then wine. I am Carl.
I somehow managed to fuck myself over on that one anyways, which is kind of impressive. Right, buy that, and then I think, want to get the holy water pot recipe. There we go. Cool.
Goodbye.
Blender gives you nightmares. Yeah, Blender's kind of a fucking nightmare. I used to work a little bit with Blender back in high school, and at that point in time, it was still a pain in the ass. It is nighttime, and I want it to be daytime. Alright, we still need... We'll probably end up getting the dagger to put Golden Vow on once we get over to Liurnia. Once we start murdering big balls. But at least for right now, it doesn't really matter. And I somehow managed to not set it to fucking daytime, which is kind of impressive, I'm not gonna lie. Not sure how I managed to do that. Alright, bleed grease acquired. Gorgeous. And we can put bleed grease probably there for now. Yeah, I used to work with most of the programs though. And I don't know, like most of the Adobe programs of them, Blender was probably the most wild to have to try and figure out. Luckily it wasn't okay, cool, thank you. It wasn't something I got, like, super focused on, because it wasn't, like, one of my main ones. I was mostly Photoshop, and then, like, a little bit of Illustrator, for varying reasons, but it was fun. Alright, that wolf didn't aggro properly. We love to see it. This one might aggro properly. Did not. Good. I don't even probably need the Sacred Tear, admittedly. I just kind of like getting it because it just... I don't know, it's one of those things of like, it just kind of clears the conscience of whether or not you need a little bit more out of your blue flask or not. So yeah. We'll see how long I kind of take things tonight, admittedly, because like tonight might be a little bit shorter grand scheme of things still. I know we've kind of been running at least for like an hour right now, but we might do at most like 2 hours, maybe 2.5. But probably not as long as usual. We'll see though.
You surprised? No matter. Why don't? Oh, don't.
I think that should, in theory, be enough to cover the cost of what I want to get here. Yeah, that pretty much covered the cost of most of what I wanted to get there. So, cool. Alright, let's go get the Faith Talisman, I guess, first. Appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Sunyan. Yeah, no, dude, I'm happy we were able to make it in here too. Funny enough, and I hate saying it, but one of our last characters was actually named after you in this case. But we got unfortunately dicked over just by, well, shenanigans of Elden Ring. There was probably a safer route for me to take there, and I don't really know why I didn't just take that instead. But we're here now. We're here now. That's a ritual pot up there, which I don't really need that. Just playing Minecraft last night, got destroyed by a single zombie like 4 times. No excuses. Dude, I'm sorry about that. Nah, I mean, honestly, like, those situations definitely happen. Those situations absolutely happen. Way more than we care to admit. You know what, let me head this way first. So I think in this case I want to try and get the grace that's over here on the lake. Or just in general, I want to head this way so I can go ahead and prep for when I need to, oh my goodness, I'm blanking on my names here right now. Head towards EG and also at the same time go into the cave system. I got a couple things to handle on this lake anyways. Go ahead and activate that grace, or that, the beacon. and just start booking our way downtown. It's really funny, not even, man. Yeah, honestly, that's kind of how I feel about most of the losses at this point. It's kind of hard to be mad about it. Well, I mean, like, it's really easy to be mad about it, I think. But, like, I don't know, there's just something really enjoyable about just being like, yeah, you know what, yeah, that was pretty fucking stupid. There really is just something very enjoyable. It just, essentially just kind of eating it and being like, yeah, you know what, that was fucking dumb. Can't say it's exactly, like, the healthiest mindset in every way, but I think, for the most part, it's good to... One of the ones I live by, which is, like, you either laugh or cry about it, but you'll get through it. Alright, we need Mr. Big Balls himself. And you know what? Today, I think I'm going to try and just see if Spinning Chain just nukes him without having to level up anything, or without using Bleed Grease. You know, I got the Bleed Grease, I guess, so let me try Bleed Greasing, regardless. Let me try doing that anyways, because Boggart doesn't really have Mr. Bigweld. Nah, Mr. Bigweld doesn't exist in this one. No, it's Mr. Big Balls on this occasion, unfortunately. His balls are very massive. He should probably get them checked out. Beautiful. Easy. Destroyed.
Why ain't it me? Why ain't it ever?
Poor guy. Poor guy. He's having a bad day of it. Man's death is kind of sad. It is kind of sad. I'm not sure exactly what the dialogue he says really, like, implies or means. But, like, I like to imagine, in this case, it's kind of the idea that a lot of Elden Ring's timeline is more or less kind of, like, frozen in time, but people keep getting reincarnated. And in his case in particular, he's kind of saying, why ain't it me, is kind of him being like, why can't I be the one that wins the fight? Finally.
Oh, what a blessed thug, please. Please. Oh, thank you, kind. Did I forget? I see you are very...
He's never the winner, he's always losing. Yeah. Poor lad. He deserves better. He does deserve better. Okay. Alright, we got that. I need to... With that... One of two things, I guess, in this case. Well, we do still need to go over and get the whatchamacallit still. So I need to go that way, actually. Actually, you know what? Let's try starting from right here. Because I might be able to collect a couple 2s on my route. If I start from right here. We'll probably Iron Balls our way through the Crystallian, more than likely. I do still need to head to Caelid to go get Cragblade. 26 hits for last run sounds pretty good. Yeah, it could have been better. Like, obviously, yeah, it could have been better, but there was some really stupid hits on that run that otherwise I was just kind of disappointed about. Alright, Crab was weirdly in the best position I think I've seen him in so far, so we'll take that. There were definitely some things, though, that we could have done a lot better. And it was just kind of sad seeing those small things that just didn't quite pan out. Alright, I am not going to loot this graveyard. I am going to loot those two. that was not even remotely worth picking up, admittedly. Okay, that... I mean, I can't really say that that was worth doing exactly, but we did get those Smithy 2s. And I think the extended, the more Smithy 2s was probably worth it, so... we are honestly pretty good on lilies. We probably don't need more lilies now at this point. I think at this time we can just kind of ride through this area. Once we're done here, we'll start heading on over towards, start heading towards Iji. So we can go kill the various balloons that give us +6s for runes. How many bosses are those really good for? The balls? The balls kind of cook by a lot. Like, they do a lot of work, in all seriousness. The balls, probably one of the best weapons in the game, only superseded by the Starfists, just off of raw damage and output. Like, it does a lot. Oh, sleep. Oh, my bad. Yeah, the duo is pretty much the primary reason to use sleep for sure. I'm not sure if there's really another situation that, like, they're the most valuable for. But also at the same time, like, I think the duo is such a nuisance kind of boss fight that it just, I don't know, it's one of those ones where it's just kind of like, yeah, it's not 100% necessary, but it does so much work. It's just worth it. So it is definitely one of those ones. Oh, it's the boss guy. Yeah. All good, man. All good. I did miss the one there, but I don't know, I don't want to ride all the way over there just to get the one. But likewise, these are 2k apiece. Since you're making sure you have them so early when the duos. So there's two real reasons to have pots for sleep. One is for the Godskin Noble fight that's in Mount Gelmir, and the other one is definitely the Godskin Duo fight. Otherwise, sleeping pots aren't really required for much. There's certain setups though that you can do for like certain major bosses. It does actually do a lot for them. Fire Giant is actually one of them, if I'm not mistaken, where you can pretty much put Fire Giant to sleep right after breaking the ankle bracelet, and he doesn't run away immediately, so you get that little bit of extra time to get poise damage on him. I think in this case we've just about maxed out our visit in this area. Or at least for right now. Yeah. One I'm not sure about is that I know they added in, like, the super duper sleep from the DLC. But I don't really know if there's a good enough reason for getting super duper sleep. I've heard that apparently on NPCs that, like, well, I don't know actually on NPCs, but at least in terms of PvP, it essentially acts like its own version of Deathblade. But again, I'm kind of on the fence about whether or not that's actually worth the effort of it. Just because I don't know, it just kind of seems like it just exists to exist. Okay, there we go. Time to go and head off into Caelid, I guess. Is it better than Deathblight? I don't know if it's necessarily better than Deathblight. I just know I think it acts with the same properties as Deathblight. It's just that I would kind of argue that Deathblight is probably better because the spell casting for it is technically better. Overall, you get more options with it. Yeah, again, I think that's the thing, right? Is it kind of feels like Deathblight, but, like, unnecessary. Because, like, there's... Other than putting it on weaponry, and I think there's a sword that does the super sleeper. Those are really where you get it from. And, like, I guess in theory, take, like, a really high arcane weapon, maybe dual wield it and do sleepy strats with it. You essentially just have Deathblight weapons at that point, which, like, could really cook, right? Could. But I don't know if it's really, like, outpacing what Deathblight could potentially do. It doesn't really feel like it. I don't know, maybe it's something worth testing. Maybe it's something worth testing. Because if it ends up working on NPCs too, I personally can't say that that would be bad then. If it kills NPCs with, like, super sleep, that would be amazing, actually. Especially in the DLC where you end up running into the gank squad. I could see that being really good against the gank squad, purely off the fact that if the gank squad can fall asleep into, like, super slumber, then at that point, then you just have to get enough hits to super sleep them. And, I mean, that would be good, right? Of course, that's assuming that it works that way, right? Okay, almost there. Alright, get this grace real quickly, and then we're gonna head over towards the guy that sells the Beast Torch. Probably end up buying, like, a handful of poison arrows, maybe. Or if he sells normal arrows, I'll probably just buy those instead, but I do want to have a couple more normal arrows in stock. Just in case I feel like a good enough reason to have them. We gotta do enough here, admittedly, so... There we go. Cool. All that good stuff. We do still need to go and kill the Giants Hunt Knight's Cav. but we'll worry about that once we're closer to our overall goal. I think for right now, at least, we just pretty much want to get access to Altus Plateau. After we get access to Altus Plateau, get our weapon to plus 12. Once we have a weapon at plus 12, we can go ahead and hopefully... Is that my normal route, or is it actually through here? I think it might have not been through there. Okay. I'm just not used to that dog being so close. You forget what Giant's Hunt is? Giant's Hunt is a Ash of War that launches the Everlink shit out of the enemy you use it against. It's like an upward spike, pretty much. I'm gonna reload this area just to make sure a dog doesn't aggro.
Always been and how can I?
Okay, so they do sell normal arrows. I'll go and buy a handful of those. And the Beast Repellent Torch. There we go. Back to Fort Faroth. It's the uppercut thing that people put on big swords. Yep, exactly. It is damn good. It is unironically so damn good. Dang, that was like an instant proc of poison. Shit. I don't normally see them do that. But, like, almost never happens for all it's worth. I'm gonna eat one of these now, because I just don't want to deal with the poison effect. You always get poisoned there? Yeah, it happens pretty frequently. What's the secret? It's usually just put on the Nikes and just run through. Like, in all seriousness, that's really all I do ever there. I literally just Nike strat. Most of the time that works. Most of the time that works. But, this was one of those few times where it just kind of really didn't do that. So. The other way, too, is that you just put on just barely enough armor to avoid the poison proc. Which also is usually how I avoid it. Or at least a contributing factor. Like, it's not even really that bad, grand scheme of things, getting poison proc there. It's just kind of annoying, if anything. So. Over here, run on down. That one annoyed me. Sure, fuck it. I guess, yeah, we'll take it. That, I literally had fucking Torrent just trip on a fucking rock on the way down, and it consumed a jump. That's literally all that happened there. And it's so dumb. It's so fucking stupid. Because all Torrent had to do was not trip and fall. And Torrent still decided to trip and fall. I'm kind of putting too much trust in those dragonflies to not attack me by doing that, but fuck it. Like, oh well, we're here now, and I'm fucking... I'm not annoyed, I'm just like... That was pretty perturbing. Torrent sneezed and it ate all the movement. Torrent sneezed and it ate all the movement. Yeah, it's so dumb. I lost my secondary jump. By the time I registered what had exactly happened there, it was just too late. I guess, to be fair, maybe I should have just said, you know what, I don't trust Torrent enough to do this properly, so maybe I just take this a little slow. But, whatever. See, like, right there, like, I ran past it, Torrent freaks out, don't grab the map. That was really cool. I like that. No, man, no, your homies put trust into it. Dude, we don't trust Torrent in this household. Torrent has not earned that trust ever. Just honestly, yeah, that's the end of the statement. That's really all it is. Torrent just has not earned the trust. Is this mushroom? It is mushroom. Somebody was doing mushrooms in that tent. Good for them. I'm gonna let these guys all kill each other, because that is just free money. Waiting to fill my pockets. Not all of them, but, like, I am gonna at least get some money off of it, because why the fuck wouldn't I? Little bit more. Little bit more money. Alright, cool. That's good enough. That's fine. I'm not gonna seriously fucking wait around for all that to happen. It's like just that small little bit of extra money that just makes enough of a difference. So. Horse dropped the ball, fumbled the pitch, other sports terms that you sport enough to know about. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too. That is kind of how I feel about it too. I made the same mistake as I did last time of running right through the jellyfish fields. Not very smart. But we get away with those sometimes, apparently. Oh, good. We have one dragonfly that's trying to keep up with us. That's not great. I don't know if I sit at this grace in here if it'll send me back. It'll send me to round table, but I'm willing to assume that it might. Either way, I think baseballs will probably cover us here right now, but I guess let's sit at this grace and see if Melina will teleport us. She will not. Okay, cool. There's, what, a Somber 2 and a Somber 3 up there, I think. Other than that, it's not really worth it. But at the same time, that's like a small pile of money that I would be missing out on. Yeah, I was gonna say, you can just jump right there. I am lucky that he whiffed. Like, that, I don't really think that whiff should have happened, but we will take it. If I remember this area correctly, there's some stuff down here. Yeah, a couple stones. Smithy 3. Yeah, exactly. We in fact, we do take those. Little surprised I took no fall damage there, but we'll take it. I believe that was enough to aggro him. I'm gonna beat this old man senseless. It's a small pile of more of stones that just kind of cover those requirements for us. That was a shortcut you've never seen? Oh, fair enough. You learn something something new every day in Elden Ring. Yep. God fucking damn it. I should have known better. It was kind of one of those things of like, you hope for the best, but like, it just very rarely does. It very rarely goes the way that you want it to. It's been an annoyance for sure this entire time. Go down faster, go down faster, go down faster, please. Okay, sure. We'll take an old man on the elevator with us. Why not? Serpentine. Yeah, no, honestly, that was a serpentine kind of situation, and I dropped the ball. So, all right, do that. Braggart's Roar, we're gonna ignore using that because it's too goofy. It's too goofy. That's really all it comes down to. I got away with that, admittedly. Yeah, I got away with that second half there, but we'll take it. Alright, there's that bell bearing. Gorgeous. And I think on that note, we can go ahead and head up to Altus Plateau. I think what we'll probably end up doing is we'll probably end up using some blood grease when we fight the Knight's Cav. Because if we blood grease our Zweihander, I think in theory that might be better than just doing outright Crag's Blade against him. Because Crag's Blade is really good for breaking stance, but against a Knight's Cav, it doesn't really make a lot of sense in theory. Just because the Knight's Calves are fucking bullshit, so. At least when it comes to their stamina management. Their poise is maximum. Alright, we're essentially just about where we need it to be anyways. Or at least where we need to be overall for all of our gear. There's only like 1 or 2 more areas for us to really have to go fuck around in. And luckily that's not too dangerous. In theory, not too dangerous. Go and pop a little bit of money because I'm probably going to want to level up a little bit before we end up getting our weapon of choice and getting to plus 12 on it. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's go ahead. Raya is where she needs to be. Lovely. With Raya where we need her to be, that's good news. We don't have to think about that one as much. I'll probably end up starting off with the sleeping pots, because I probably will end up going to kill the deathrite bird that gives us the red feathered branch. I figure if I'm gonna be playing or trying to play this hitless anyways, it only makes reasonable sense for me to go ahead and take advantage of a talisman that expects me not to get hit. I actually, weirdly enough, and I don't know why I don't know this, but I don't know what the red feathered branch actually is in terms of total percent damage. I would kind of have to hope that would be a really sizable chunk of damage, given the fact that the talisman is you need to essentially have below 20% health to make it functional. I would kind of hope that translates to at least like 15 or 20% extra damage, if not more, but I don't know. I'm kind of blanking on it right now. Oh Lord, he coming. You zoned out for a minute watching the foliage go by? What? I'm not sure in this case, Onion. I'm not sure in this case, man. I wonder how my balls will do here. These aren't leveled up at all. If they end up doing relatively okay, then I might be cooking. I kind of hope they do okay without having anything on them, but we'll have to find out. No levels, no extra abilities. Just in this case, it would be pretty much just charge attacks increased on damage. Did good damage to the miners with your balls. Yeah, no, definitely. Like, in all seriousness, they did not really handle them super well. But in this case, we're dealing with a later game tunnel now, and if the balls don't keep up, then this could be problematic. Kind of deserve that, yeah. As you can see, kind of what I'm getting at is like I could have played that better, admittedly, but I did not. A little annoyed. Well, like I said, could have been better. I guess this is kind of proof that maybe, if anything, I need to take the balls up to a +3 by this point, at least, to prevent this from happening. Because I think in this case, I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things of like, God fucking damn it! God fucking damn it! Also, that's 17k down the toilet. Nice, awesome. This is why you run past these people. You just hate fighting them. Yeah, no, definitely. Like, it's not that I really want to fight them. It's just I'm kind of thinking if I don't fight them, they're gonna just walk up to me and casually do this shit anyways. So I'm trying to, in this case, balance it out so I kill them. He was about to fucking hit me. That would've sucked. All that for one Smithy 5. And the thing is, too, is that there's this guy right here, which I'm gonna bully him, but the damage ain't gonna be good enough to kill. It was close, though. A little disappointing, admittedly, and I'm unsurprised. I could have played better. Is really all I think all that comes down to. Def +3 minimum. That's kind of what I'm feeling on it, yeah. Yeah, these guys are too capable of doing, like, really cheap little hits, admittedly, so I hate to say it, but I have to respect them just that little teensy bit more than I really care to. So, yeah. Yeah. Alright. That sucks. That actually does suck by a lot. Yeah, that's kind of it. They don't really deserve a lot of respect, but, like, they've earned just a bare minimum. They've earned just a bare minimum. I think I will play this one out, for all it's worth, at this point, unless we end up going above our cap. If we go above 26 hits, then I don't really see a point to continuing the run. But I think I will keep it rolling for the time being until we hit that point. If we hit that point. Yeah, that's definitely it. And the other thing, too, here is maybe it's kind of just a sign to show, like, hey, maybe don't be so damn conservative about using Kukri. Because if I had just stealthed there, like, once or twice over, then we probably wouldn't have run into that issue. Likewise, I don't really think I necessarily have to do certain things. Rain takes the bitrate. Oh yeah? Is the rain taking the bitrate? That's awesome. That's so great. Thanks, Rain. But yeah, I mean, like, literally, if I just ran across that bridge, I would have infinite Kukri right here. this guy has the kukri I need, regardless. So I literally can just come to him, buy 10 for 600. And just like that, I have 10 more stealth items. So, really, maybe I should have come to this guy a lot sooner. Maybe. I guess what's funny about it, too, in this case at least, Sunyan, is that it kind of feels like today the rain has been very frequent in-game. Like, way more than usual. Because I don't really feel like whenever I'm playing this, I get this much rain. Not in all seriousness. Alright, I think what we're going to do here is I'm going to probably get myself up to... I guess in this case, we'll get ourselves up to Margit, more than likely. I think that'll probably be the calling point for today. We're an hour 10 in now. 9 hits. Weather the weather. Alright, this is bleed grease. 2 bleed greases that I might end up just kind of considering over getting the bleed grease recipe. And even if I did end up getting the bleed grease recipe, I could probably end up saving it for later, if anything. And like, it wouldn't be horribly painful to do so. Likewise, maybe I just kind of plan on doing the fort height clear, as I've kind of talked about before. That's a lot of lilies. We don't really need that many. But, fuck it, we're here. If anything, actually, it's also another sign of like, hey, here's another spot where I can get a shit ton of lilies, because I'm up to 19. There we go. Better run optimization at this point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It pretty much tells me that that merchant that I went to very early on that has the 3 lilies on him, and the handful of, like, lily, or the sleeping arrows. Do I really need those? Because, like, I have so many other options for lilies that I don't really need to purchase that from him. Doesn't make a huge difference by a lot. I just think that, I don't know, it might be better. It might be better thinking going forward here. Alright. Do that, buy this is why.
Never safe.
I don't know if sitting down right now if we'll get teleported. There we go. Yes, we do. Alright.
Forgive me.
Definitely not worth it. No. We don't need that many lilies.
There is, but I can take gathering plate. Very well. Let my...
No, but the souls can be used for levels or stones or something. Yeah, we're actually gonna take the souls that we just popped there. And oh, I see what you mean. Never mind, my bad. We're gonna head back to Round Table though, and I think at this point we have all we need. We're lacking in 3s and 4s, but I think we'll go ahead and just get our weapon up to a +6 at a minimum for right now, and maybe continue onwards.
You'll know Matt Loud, you.
We'll see. We'll see. There we go. +8 on the Zwei. Go and sell off a little bit more money. And by a little bit more money, I mean literally all of the money that I had. Damn shame about that 17k. Damn shame about that 17k. Actually, you know what? I do need that. And I think, want the scimitar. I will end up needing a seal, but I don't technically have the availability for it just yet, so I'm not going to worry about it. Give the bell bearings. All right, there we go. All right, Zwei. And I guess in this case, let's do Radagon Source Seal, because that gives us actually more stats overall right now. And in theory, that's probably better for us.
Banner matter.
Not quite enough to squeak out another level just yet. We may not even have enough to do that. But we'll see. We'll see. Alright, that's plus 11's Y-hander. Okay. East Raya Gate. Let's go deal with the Knight's Cav that's over here. Alright, bow's equipped. Enough to two-hand this. Wonderful. Lead grease is available. Okay. Oh, shit. I mean, we don't really need it at a +5, but fuck it, we'll take it. Nightfall. Knight's Cav time. With the murder of this Knight's Cav, we'll also be able to get the +12 on our Zweihander, as well as Giant's Hunt. So, not too shabby. I think he noticed us. I could be wrong. He tried to notice us. A little surprised that didn't hit me, but we'll take it. Oh my god, he keeps fucking doing that, man. It's so annoying. It's like every single time Knights Cav show up, this is all they do. Alright, bit of a cheap hit, but I also should have just played better at that point. So, big damage on the horse, though? Yeah, big damage on the horse, though. That is something. Okay. Alright, that's Knight's Cav dead. That will get us up to the +12. And we could also probably handle a handful of things here. Let's go and equip a dagger in the offhand. Actually, in this case, Y in that hand, dagger in this hand.
Well, I took you no matter. Lay out your arms.
There we go, plus 13. Actually, plus 13, so surely that'll be okay. Alright, Crag on my blade. Let's go see how this does against Margit. Shit, I forgot to do it again, didn't I? I forgot to get my Golden Vow dagger.
Well, I took you no matter. Lay out your arms.
There we go. And then on top of that, I mean, I guess if we wanted to, we could also go and get the Red Feathered Branch while we're thinking about things. We don't really technically need it yet because we don't have a talisman slot for it, but still. Probably on our list of things to get done soon enough here. Just assumed you had to fight the guys on horseback. Yeah, that's fair. They're awful. They're really bad. Knights Cav are just kind of annoying as piss. I think that's really all it comes down to. Let's sit down before that guy actually comes up and becomes a problem. Alright, so Flask, Golden Vow, Crag on my blade. There we go. Let's see how this does. Fa. Rolled. Rolled. Okay, he did wacky shit. It's probably because I was in a fucking light roll state. I'm sure of it. That could have been better, and I'm just disappointed that it wasn't.
Smouldering with thy meager flame, cower in fear of the night. The hands of the fell omen shall brook thee no quarter.
He's still just fucking yapping in the background. Good for him. What do I need strength-wise on this? I need 19 strength to one hand.
Well, I took you no matter. Lay out your arms.
I guess to be fair, this right here is a bunch of runes too. So we could have done something with that, I guess, in theory. Let's see here.
Back over no matter.
Giant's Hunt on this bad boy. Do that. Off to War Master Shack. This is our opportunity, more or less, to go ahead and kill Bernal.
suppose I have no choice. You are an enigma. To be certain.
Okay, note to self, maybe should have done that from his backside, but we, in theory, should have never taken a hit there. In all seriousness, we never should have taken a hit there, but, well, we're here now. Huge damage, indeed. But slow. Yeah, that is definitely the problem with the Zweihander. The Zweihander has a lot of really good use to it, but it can be a little frustrating on certain parts. Alright. Alright, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that for right now, I think, tonight. Still a little bit bummed about the whole... Honestly, there was a number of hits there that I really should have never taken. But, I mean, work in progress is work in progress. We might... Depending, I think, in this case, on what happens next time, how we start off, we'll kind of see. We'll kind of play it by ear, but as is for right now, I think we're just going to leave it at this, and, yeah. So. Good night, Sunyan. You take care of yourself, buddy. It's good always seeing you. I'll see you folks later. Thank you so much for stopping in if you stopped in tonight, and as always, be sure to like and subscribe and all that magical stuff. But if you already have, thank you very much. It means a lot to me. I will see you folks later. Have a wonderful rest of your nights. And take good care of yourself. So long for now.